Okay, so Dave has the beams back in for the bed. He put it in because he's working on these wall panels. Well, that one is back out. And the wheel boxes, especially this side, because that's where our electric is going to go. And as you can see, he's got the wires from the lights and the fan. And then we're going to have 2 reading lights here. So there's those are pre-wired too. There's 2 wires here, and then the fridge just came in. It is a behemoth. I don't know. I looked at the measurements and it sounded small, and so I thought I got a small fridge, but it's a monster. So we'll have a lot of food. The fridge I went with is a Rec Pro. I think it's 3.3 cubic. I want to say liters, but it might be feet. I'll have to look. It's not hooked up yet or anything. There's no freezer. It's simply a fridge. And the reason I went with it is because I really, really, really wanted an upright. I don't like digging through chest freezers or chest refrigerators or ice chests. I really wanted the upright. So I couldn't find many uprights with good reviews, and I wanted it to have at least a 4 out of 5 review. I will let you know once we start using it what I think of this refrigerator. Dave's working on the electric. This isn't going to be like an in-depth thing, just like everything else we're learning as we're going, but he's doing a really great job.
All right, so this is number 4. I had originally ran number 6 all the way back to the driver's side wheel well, which is where all the electronics are wired at. So I had to pull all the number 6 out, run the number 4. We'll have a shot later showing it go into the battery compartment.
Yeah.
You guys just got to remember that there's this one tricky screw back under the seat. You have to take this little cover off that goes around the e-brake to get to this screw back here, which is a real tricky screw. I wired it to a switch on the, I think this is a windshield, driver's side windshield roll up. That circuit stays hot the whole time, but since it's wired to a switch, it's not going to matter because we can turn it off. So it's not running the DC to DC when it doesn't need to. And then right back, it just runs behind the seat and into the wall. So I guess we can show that. Well, no, that covers off, so you kind of want to show how I did that coil. Wall.
Okay.
So the D plus wire and the 2 number 4 gauge cables that go back to the wheel well there, they all run right down along the bottom of this driver's side pillar, and then they run into the spot I cut for them there, up the wall, down and out at the wheel well.
Go here, and then right here. Yep. And the reason, did you already see the reason for the 4-AUG instead of the 6 was because of the length of the run, right?
Length, yeah. That's,
which I never knew anything about that mattering.
It took
25 feet.
You can't get it, but taking the light out.
Oh, that's handy.
There's still more screws. I guess there's 5 screws total.
So I haven't got a lot of video of Dave doing the electric because I've been working on other projects while he's doing the electric. But one of the very last steps here that he's working on now is getting in the shore power. So we're going to try to get it in this back bumper area to avoid taking apart any of this area, which is already well established. Pretty much everything has been tested and everything works so far. And we just need to get the shore power through the back of the van. So he's removed the taillight and one of the panels here so you can get to the screws, and I will film some of that. What we were doing was we had to take off some of the screws so we could peel back this piece, because this piece has the screws for that piece that we really want off.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's like looking under my van's clothing. You're dirty under there, van. always one more. You just needed to swear at it.
There's one more.
Weird. Okay, so I'm thinking right here. Further. Jesus, there goes my wrist for the year. Oh, it's done? All right. I thought I was fighting an epic battle for a second there. This is what we're putting in. And we're going to run it through this tiny jail cell. So I ordered a double end here, which is kind of cool. But as you can see, this was not long enough. This is as far out as these guys are coming. So that's fine. I can reach them. I can plug stuff in. I can run an extension cord. I can plug stuff in the back. I can do both. That's great. But if you order one, I highly suggest, if you're going through like we did, to get a longer one by maybe 6 to 12 inches longer. And I will put right here how long this one was, which was not enough. Sometimes length matters. Okay, we actually took this off and put it back on again, because when I first put it on, I wasn't thinking that it mattered really what direction. But this is the way that this goes back on the van. And if you look, we had this short cord, and so I hope it's in focus here. It was with the cord up, so then the cord had to turn and go back down across the plug, which just isn't very smart, but also robbed us of about an inch or so. So we will be putting it back in this way. So Dave pretty much single-handedly did the electric, with the exception of the solar panel install. So I'm going to let him tell you some tips and tricks. Most of it didn't get filmed, just little bits and pieces, because I was working on other things. And take it away, Dave.
Well, there's not going to be a lot of tips and tricks. I think we already ran over. The most important tip is to make sure that you're grounded. I had this whole system hooked up, and it wouldn't turn on because I didn't have a good ground. So really all we've got is the solar panels coming in from the roof. We put the hole in the top with the little cover they gave us, so that's all waterproof. All of these are just for various lights and night lights that we're still waiting to wire in. So there's not a lot of electrical going on in here, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. It looks intimidating, but it's pretty straightforward. We have the 2000 watt inverter. We don't have the inverter charger, so what we decided to do is run our shore power in through the back, and we'll just hook a battery charger up to it when we have shore power, and we can just keep our batteries topped off while we're running the inverter for the few things that it'll run when we're in here. It's all fused. Everything is fused, like they say in the YouTube videos. We've got it pretty well hammered out. So we did get this little 12 volt fuse box that you can see. We've got all the different things, the refrigerator, and
He's got them labeled here.
refrigerator, and God, I can't remember everything that we have. Stuff running off that, but this is our solar controller, and then we've got two 200 amp hour lithium batteries, so 400 amp hours altogether.
And you have these wired, is it parallel or?
These are wired in parallel.
In parallel, yep.
And these bus bars that you see right here, you got to have these when you're doing your van so that you can hook up all your positives and your negatives separately. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about that.
And I think you've tested pretty much all of it. The lights are on right now. We've had the solar running it with no problem. I think you've tested every piece that you've hooked up. Everything's working. So we're just going to continue on. We've got, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We've got 3 days left to finish this van. And I'll back up a little bit so you can see where we're at with it. We have a little ways to go in 3 days, and that's with work. So that's just kind of our short electric one. The next one will be what we've got with the cabinets. And because we're in such a rush, we're gonna probably not be able to film any really like cohesive segments for you after that. So when we come back from that first trip, we're probably gonna work on the finishing touches that I thought we would have already had in before we do a full van tour. But I will also try to put out the costs and the weight as soon as I can as well. So they'll come trickling in, these videos. And then after that, we're just gonna have some really great adventures to share with you.